Hey there, and welcome back, and if you're new, welcome in. So for today's video, I'm going to be talking about Ayato, because as you can see, he's currently one of the characters that are in the banner, and as well whether or not you should get his weapon. So let's just get right into it. Also, I have made it to 260 subscribers. Yes, 200. We are currently at 261 as of now. Let's see where we can get to before the end of the month slash year as well, because New Year's is coming up too. But for now, let's just get with the video. So when it comes to Ayato, you want some HP but also attack as well, because when it comes to him, he's a little mix of both. You want to make sure he has a good amount of attack, but then some of his skill damage is kind of scaled off some HP. So you usually want around like 20k for HP. Attack, preferably, you kind of want to higher. As for the weapons, technically, you're gonna want well, for his options, I should say, his maintenance slot is a good option, but personally, Mist Splitter, in my opinion, is kind of the better option in my opinion, because they get overall a 12% increase to elemental damage. So whoever's a sword user, honestly, this weapon can work with almost anyone. If not, it works with anyone, which is kind of insane, not gonna lie. Another weapon you could technically use, but it's only going to be as a crit stick and somewhat increased in HP as well, is the primordial jade, which is nice. But so far, I'm gonna say, in my opinion, Mid Splitter, then his maintenance slot, and then primordial. So for the 4-star options, you technically have the black sword, which is nice, but you also have the Kageuchi as well, which with Kageuchi, it kind of helps with the whole energy problem, just in case you want to have his burst up by the end of the rotation, depending on the type of team you decide to go with as well. Also, another somewhat technically good-ish option if you don't have any of those would be Favonius, but I'm gonna say Sacrificial will beat the Favonius in this time around, because it will be able to let him do his skill a lot more often, which his skill is his main source of damage. So when it comes to weapons, personally, first Mist Splitter, second his main slot, Futsu, maybe Primordial. After that, we got Black Sword, Kageuchi, Sacrificial, then Favonius. As for his weapons options. As for the artifact set, I'm going with a two-piece because I technically don't have a good 4-piece set for this guy. And you can either give him a 4-piece set of heart, technically, because on top of that, after using your skill, increases normal attack and charge attack damage, which honestly, it's weird, but his skill counts as a charge attack to an extent. So it's weird, but there's like that little loophole, just so you know. Also, we have the golden right here. Technically, it increases his skill damage, and on top of that, then further increases his skill damage again by an additional, pretty much it'll increase it overall by 55%. And then on top of that, technically, this is where it's like it has no real effect. It further increases it by 25%, but then this only triggers whenever they're not on the field, which his skill does not work that way. So technically, at best, you'll be able to get 55% out of the whole 80% boost. And for the stats that you want to have for him, it's going to be attack, hydro damage, and either crit rate or crit damage. Or if you can get away with it, technically attack. If you have pretty much both of these stats. So for instance, I can switch. I'm gonna go with, I'm not gonna do it, but I'll show you. So boom, I can now have attack. So his attack is now 2203. His HP dropped a little, but it's still a good ratio too on top of that. So it's like, it's nice. So there are times when you'll be able to get away with it too. But usually you kind of want crit rate or crit damage. As for the constellations, C0 works perfectly fine. If not, I would recommend C1, C2, or C6. Because C1 increases the damage when it comes to pretty much enemies that have 50% or less HP. When it comes to which usually kind of works with bosses too, since they have the whole little second phase once you hit them like halfway through, or once they're like at 50% of their HP, which he's gonna constantly have this passive activated. Next, it's gonna be this C2 technically, which increases his maximum nemesis stacks to 5, which honestly will increase his HP. And for that, technically, it affects his skill damage, because the more stacks, nemesis stacks you have, technically, the higher damage he does. And also increases the it increases the damage because of the charge attack, and then 2 increases his interruption resistance. So honestly, pretty nice, not gonna lie. C4 is like, it just increases his speed, but for all party members as well, not just himself. C3 and C5 are his increase for skill and burst technically, but C6 is, it's a little something. Pretty much whenever he's in his skill, he will deal 2 additional slashes for the 1 slash. So instead of doing the 1 slash, he's gonna be doing like 3 slashes in one. So it's honestly pretty insane, not gonna lie. And on top of that, it is not affected by the nemesis stacks. So technically, you don't really have to worry about using those. And on top of that, it increases his pretty much the damage he's gonna be dealing. It's gonna be an additional 450% of his attack, which is one of the main reasons why you want to make sure you have a good amount of attack. So that's it for the constellations. As for the talents, you could just straight up ignore a normal attack. His first priority is skill, then his burst. And like I mentioned, you can just ignore his normal attack, because his normal attack does not affect his skill damage. Even though some of the artifact passives fall under the charge attack, is affects the skill, but then the normal attack doesn't, which is, it's weird, but it just works, which honestly is nice. And on top of that, you can technically save resin. So instead of using that resin to level up his normal attack, you can use that resin to try to get artifact sets instead, which honestly, pretty nice, not gonna lie. But honestly, that is about it when it comes to his kit. Also, forgot to mention, his skill has like this little, that guy. So pretty much once you're attacking, you're just going to be attacking like this. You're just holding it, and then after the duration ends, it's going to explode and do damage too, which honestly is like an additional damage boost as well, which is kind of nice. So let's just do a little quick showcase. Overall though, dude's pretty easy to build, especially if you have like the materials that you're able to use and want to use on him, which is pretty insane. But overall, let's just get right into it. Oh, I messed up. Oh well. Anyways, these are the guys I wanted to use first. There we go. Nope. Isn't he gonna jump? No, he's not. No, I don't like that face. Get over here. Get over here. Boom. 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 Oh, buddy. There we go. So we have around 10k, 10. Fortunately, I messed up the rotation. That kind of sucks. Damn. Oh, okay. Let's give it another go, but this time hopefully I get the... Wait. Actually, I want to switch his weapon. I was getting around like 10k-ish for his stuff. I'm going to be switching this with Miss Splitter, which honestly I kind of prefer over that. Because look, his attack is already increased. And let's check his ratio. His crit ratio is so good. So let's give it another go. There we go. Boom. Boom. Burst. Boom. And skill. We got 11, 16, 10, 16 again. It's a, as you can see why I say his best in slot is nice, but Miss Splitter overall is just better. So, would I recommend the weapon? No, not really. This time we're gonna go with a burst. Dude, oh, he's not jumping. Oh, now he is a skill, burst, skill, burst. Oh, okay. Overall, personally, I think Miss Splitter's a better option, but that's just me. And on top of that, it has a higher base attack too, so it's like, it's nice. So, his weapon's nice, but then you kind of need to go around a few things to be able to activate the whole little ability, which is you need to make sure your characters, teammate characters, use their skills in order to be able to trigger this passive. But overall, it's like, it's nice. But personally, I kind of wouldn't really go for it. If you have Miss Splitter lying around, I don't know why you just have it lying around. I'd go for it. But overall, it's made it to, honestly, for both weapons, they're both okay. I wouldn't really recommend any of those two, if I'm being honest. But then again, it's like the whole little pity system too. I overall, in general, I just don't recommend wishing the weapon banner. But did you get Ayato? I mean, by all means, if you like him, if you saw some things that I showcased that you ended up enjoying or liking and caught your interest about the unit, go for it. Just keep in mind, I built my Ayato, but he's not technically fully built, so his damage is still able to increase as well. So keep that in mind. But due to me having several units, I don't really have the option of, well, focusing on just purely focusing on him. While you, on the other hand, if you really want him and want to have him as a main DPS, you can use that to your advantage to then allow you to pretty much to have the unit there. Bam, baby. But overall, if you want him, get him. Chances are you'll probably build him better than I will. And on top of that, he's pretty laid back to use, because like imagine you can just press, hold, not even tap, just hold, and then he's already doing technically damage. And like I mentioned, if you have C6, dude, he's a monster. But overall, most 5-star units are technically a monster at C6. But that's about it. So don't forget, if you like a unit and you like their fighting style or play style, go for it. If you don't feel pressured to get them. But that's about it. So if you ended up enjoying this video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Really helps out the channel. And until next time, because we are currently at 261. Let's see how far we make it before the end of the month and the end of the year as well. So until next time, later nerds, take care.